All right, hey everybody. So today we're going to talk about the reasoning behind why do certain behaviors increase and what causes behaviors to decrease. Now, in our field, we use this term called reinforcement. So for us in the field of ABA, when we say reinforcement, we just mean that something has changed in the environment. So following a behavior, something was either added to the environment or something was taken away from the environment that led to the behavior increasing. So behaviors don't usually just they don't ever increase for no reason. There's something that's going on that's causing that increase. Now, some fun examples. The child, say your kiddo uses the restroom and we provide the praise. So if the behavior is going up, so when we talk about reinforcement, the behavior went up, that's because praise was added into the environment. And say the child is screaming and maybe you put all the food away or you take away specifically those green beans that no kids usually really like, at least I didn't as a kid. So maybe the screaming goes up because the green beans went away. So something was taken away from the environment. Another one is maybe, so we're trying to get our dog to come to you. So you call your dog and then your dog comes when you call them. Then you provide them a treat. So why did the dog come to you? Because they gained access to that treat. So that treat could be a reinforcer for them. It was added into their environment. Then another one, a big one that lots of us experiences, you go to work. Why do you go to work? You go to work because you get a paycheck. So the paycheck is what's called the reinforcer. That is leading to the increase, and it's the whole reason that we go to work. Another one might be you or the child gives you eye contact and then you provide tickles and all of the praise and all of the games and all of the fun stuff. So then say the eye contact goes up. Well, it's going up. The reason it's going up is because the tickles are a reinforcer. And those are something that were added into their environment after they gave the eye contact. Now, remember the functions of behavior. So the reasons, all the things that we do, the things that we do are the attention, escape. We also have the access, or some people call it tangible. And then you have that different the sensory stimulations. So going back to the examples that we just went over. So the child using the restroom and the parent providing praise as attention. So we use the restroom or we do this because we get attention. We're told good job. Then the other one, so food disappearing and going away. So that means the child got out of it. They successfully escaped the demand and the instruction of eating a certain food. So that's why the screaming is going up. The escaping it is reinforcing for them. The dog receiving a treat, the treat being added in is that access. It's a tangible. Going to work to get the paycheck. Paycheck is that access. You get access to that paycheck, access to that money. And then getting those tickles and all those things in, that's attention. So again, all the things that we do, you can still bring it back down to the different four functions of the reasoning of why all the behaviors occur. And then either something is reinforcing, it's going to go up, or it is punishment. So when we say punishment, when we're talking in the field of ABA, we simply just mean that the behavior is decreasing. Does not mean that we're talking about that you have to go in and spank your child and go put them in timeout. Whether you do that or not is not the discussion we're having. We're just talking about if you see a behavior decreasing, why is it decreasing? The reason that the behavior is going down is because there's something in the environment that is acting as a punisher for that kiddo or adult or the dog or whoever it is that you're talking about. So some examples would be if your child arrives home late and maybe the keys are taken away. For a lot of people, yeah, that would be a punisher. And so now in the future, they're much less likely to arrive home late because they lost access to something. Another one, maybe the child arrives home late and now you tell them that they have to volunteer at the shelter this weekend. So in the future, they might be much less likely to arrive late because of this thing that was added into their environment that they don't want to do. Another one, which is an example I really want to draw attention to, is if your kid goes to the bathroom on the toilet and you sing praises and all the shouting, we see that as a good thing. However, if the child's behavior is going down, then again, that means that there's something punishing in the environment. And for some kids, that singing and that praise and those loud sounds can be aversive. So for that individual, singing and praising might have actually been a punisher. And so now the behavior is decreasing, which is definitely not something we want when it comes to going to the bathroom and the toilet. So the whole takeaway with this, there's so much more information and things that we would need to get into to help work on stuff. But the cool thought is just knowing that we can change our environment to change the behavior. So if you want to see a certain behavior go up, we just need to make sure that there's a reinforcer that follows that. Now, I will say, with that being said, just because something is preferred does not make it a reinforcer. I love Dr. Pepper. I love pizza. At some point, if you keep giving me Dr. Pepper and pizza all day, I'm not going to want it anymore. I also, as much as people love their jobs and they might not mind going to work, you're not usually going to go to work unless you get a paycheck. If someone tried to pay you in just Dr. Pepper and pizza, at some point you probably would stop going to work. So with that in mind, if you are trying to increase something in your kiddo and you don't see it going up, then whatever you're using, the stickers or the praise, might not actually be a reinforcer, at least at that moment. So try something else and see if adding something else instead makes a difference, and maybe you'll start getting to see it go up. Now, if you're trying to decrease a behavior, it's definitely very helpful to know what the function is of behavior. Why is the behavior happening? Again, everything happens for a reason. Are they in some way escaping something? Or maybe you're trying to praise them and you're trying to do this and that, and you thought it was, you think it's a reinforcer, or you think it's a punisher, but maybe it's not. Every kid is different. Every situation is different. So if the behavior is if you're wanting to decrease it, then knowing what the function is going to be super helpful. And we'll talk about how to find that out in the future a little bit more. And then the main thing, though, when it comes with it, and once you know what the function is to make sure that there's not a reinforcer following the problem behavior. So for example, when the kid is screaming, when they see the green beans, they see those carrots, and then the green beans and the carrots goes away. If escaping it is a reinforcer, then that is going to go up. So in the future, when you try to prevent those vegetables and things to the kiddos again, then they're much more likely to try to scream, and they might even try all the other things to try to continue to get out of it. With that said, simply just following through and I'm not going to remove it anymore, that can be hard. No one wants to sit at the table for 4 hours, and I completely understand that, and I agree with you there. I do not want to spend, after a long day, the next 4 hours of my time sitting at the dinner table. But there are ways to be able to help make the process easier and hopefully make eating green beans and vegetables fun. So again, things that we'll talk about at another time. So just as a quick reason and just introduction to the terms reinforcement and punishment and what we mean. And again, it's nice to know that we can change the environment, so we are able to work on changing things. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But otherwise, that is all for today. So thank you, and have a good rest of the day or evening or whatever time it is for you as you're watching this. All right, bye.